Hello and welcome to the Ridiculously Good VA Show with Tracey D'Aviero. If you are a virtual assistant or want to be one, this is the place to learn the tips and tricks you need to become a ridiculously good VA. I've been a part of the VA industry since 1998, and I'm excited to get to know you and help you build an amazing business. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast that teaches you how to be a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Each week on the podcast, I bring you insights, strategies, and encouragement to help you grow your VA business with confidence, clarity, and consistency. Today, I want to talk about another one of our mindset shifts in this series, and today is Stop Reinventing the Wheel. The quote today is from James Clear. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If you feel like you are constantly running but never actually moving forward, I'm really glad you're here today. Well, let's go. I'm your host, Tracey D'Aviero, the confidence coach for virtual assistants, and today we're talking about one topic that I really enjoy, and that is systems. Based on mindset, of course, we're going to talk about how to stop trying to reinvent the wheel every single time you sit down to do something, and how setting up systems can help you grow your business with confidence and consistency that you know you need. Being busy is not the same as being productive. And for a lot of VAs, those two things get very jumbled up. Not just VAs, actually, but yes, us too. Let me start by defining what I mean by reinventing the wheel, in case I'm somehow aging myself, I can't imagine, and you're saying, what the heck is she talking about? Reinventing the wheel just means trying to find a new way to do something that is pretty well already established in one way or another, that exists and that works, right? It's not necessary to create something new for every aspect of your business. Yes, we all work differently, but there are tools that you can use. There are strategies you can use. There are frameworks that you can use. There are checklists. There are platforms that help you automate. You're not starting from ground zero every time you do something new in your business, even though sometimes it can feel like that. The wheel has been invented already, and in a lot of cases, it works. So you have to assess what you need to plan or automate and then just get it done. Let's start right here with the difference between busy and productive. What does busy look like? Busy looks like constantly checking email, jumping between client work and admin tasks, spending hours tweaking a Canva post. I think I'm looking right at myself there, or updating your website again. You finish the day tired, exhausted, but you can't quite pinpoint what you accomplished. And if anybody from the outside looking in were to assess what you did, they would easily be able to tell you what the problem is, right? Hopefully you completed your task list, but oftentimes you didn't even do that. You got rabbit holed, you got stuck, you ran out of time. It was a busy day, you tell yourself. Productive, on the other hand, is focused and intentional, and it's about doing work that actually moves your business forward. That might mean sending a proposal to a new lead, creating a workflow for a client onboarding, reviewing your income goals, planning actions that support those income goals. That's the type of thing we're talking about. The mindset shift that you need to make here is busy is reactive and productive is proactive. Proactive always moves you forward, right? When you're reactive, you're always responding to clients, to notifications, to whatever pops up next. I'm talking directly to you. I've seen it. I've worked with people who do it. Of course, it's happened to me as well. Am I more proactive when I have all that stuff in check? Yes, and you will be too. When you're proactive, you're leading your business. You're deciding what gets your time and attention and when that happens. And the best way to stay proactive is to have systems do the heavy lifting for you. For a long time, I never realized that I wasn't in control of my day. I thought if I had a lot of things to do and I was ticking tasks off that to-do list, that I was being productive. I was getting stuff done. I had no idea that I was stuck in busy mode. And there is a huge difference. And only when you start actually being productive can you tell the difference between the two. For me, it was about setting up my task management system. I am still a pen and paper girl. And at one point, I graduated to GQs. It was a super simple online task system, but that was a really big decision for me to actually put something onto a computer, right? And I also installed lead times. All of a sudden, it wasn't about, oh, you need that, I'll get that done for you. And I also batched my work. I started to really actively consider when I was going to get things done for my clients. It wasn't a system I created, but I adapted it so that it worked for me. Simple systems and logical time management made a world of difference to what I got done and what I tracked my time for every single day. Not only did I stop losing track of billable time for my clients, but I actually worked at a better pace, and my clients started to value my time better because I wasn't just doing what they asked me to do in the moment, like when they asked me to do it. I carefully planned my schedule and I was in charge of it, and we were all more productive. So where do you start with systems? There's usually three main areas that every VA business needs to systematize, even if you're a solo business. The first one is client management. From onboarding to offboarding, a clear client process saves you hours and makes you look professional. Think about how your clients move through your business. How do they inquire about your services? How do they book a discovery call? How do they sign your contract, pay their invoice, and get started working with you? And how do they pay their invoices and communicate with you afterwards? If you don't have a mapped out process for that all that stuff yet, that is probably the first system that you should document. You can use tools like Dubsado, Honeybook, ClickUp, or even Google Drive to make templates to create repeatable steps. Anything that you do over and over and over again should be made into a checklist or a project, right? And it's funny because this is one of the questions that new VAs ask me all the time. But I've had a simple onboarding process for so long that it often takes me by surprise. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? You can't answer those, three or four questions that I just asked you. You don't know what happens next. What do you mean you don't? But we all had to learn it. I had to learn it, but it is so second nature now that it becomes a funny question. There's no dumb questions, never, but it's really important. If you don't have the answer to that question, then you need to create a process to put in place. And again, not reinventing the wheel. You just need to say what happens next, and then how do I manage that? How do I look after that? Your clients have to feel valued, just like we do. And that means when they decide to hire us, they want to get started immediately and they want to know what happens next. And you're the one to tell them what happens next. Guiding them through a simple onboarding process makes sure that their expectations are met and that you have everything that you need to get started working together. The same is important for those clients before they work with you. What about when they contact you? How quickly can they book a call with you? Where can they get some even preliminary questions answered? Do you have any of that available for them? When you do have it, it makes a great first impression, right? And it's also how you're going to professionally handle their work. That's the impression they get of you. They know, oh, you have the answers already. When I ask you a question, you show me where to find the answer, or you tell me the answer. You don't want to overthink your consult or your onboarding process. It's as simple as I said. It's like a non-question after you have it in place, but it's really important. What do they need to know or do? Bam, process done. The second one is marketing. And this is a big one because marketing is such a big thing, right? And it's where a lot of VAs lose their consistency. Maybe you show up strong for a few weeks and then you get busy with client work and disappear for a month. Happens to all of us. Having a marketing system means setting up repeatable tasks and templates for your content. So create a checklist for every blog or newsletter that you do. Repurpose your content using a simple folder system. Schedule your social posts once a week instead of trying to do it every day. When you create that structure, your visibility becomes more consistent, and that consistency builds credibility with your audience. When you follow a system for your marketing, you get more done in a shorter amount of time. You're focused. You're doing the work in a focused amount of time. I use a checklist to do my podcast every single episode. I tell you guys this. It's not that I don't know what the steps are. I've been podcasting for 3 years now. I know exactly what the steps are. But to not have to worry about whether I'm following my process or not, really frees up a lot of brain power. You trust the checklist, your brain gets to relax and your brain gets more creative, your brain gets more productive. There's so many simple ways to make this kind of thing happen. You don't have to create a new system, but you do need to use one that works for you. The same principle can be used for writing social media, creating images in Canva so you don't spend hours doing it, or even using AI for suggestions, or doing outreach or networking. All the things that you do in your business can be systematized and processes set in place, and it's not that hard to do. Then all you have to do is follow the process and follow your schedule. Bam, system's done. And number 3 is finances. This also does not have to be complicated. A financial system could simply be tracking your income and expenses in one place. If you use a platform already to manage that kind of thing, there it is. You need to just keep an eye on it then, right? Sending invoices on the same day every month. I remember thinking I had a super simple invoice process when I first started out. I was sending PayPal invoices and I was sending Word document invoices to people. Well, sometimes because I had a lot of clients that were sort of at various sizes, and some of them were small. I had a lot of clients basically. I sometimes didn't get my billing out until 7 days into the month. I was busy. And so that really created a challenge for me. It wasn't until I started using FreshBooks that it was like click, click, click. Holy crap, that was easy. And it cost me $20 a month. It was really worth having that in place. But more than the time that it was taking, it was the ability to have a process in place to do that and get that done. It was just the smartest thing that I ever did. And of course, setting up reminders for things like taxes and savings too. You have to be able to manage your money, not just have it there. The goal is to reduce what we call decision fatigue and remove surprises. When your money systems are organized, you're going to feel more in control. And that confidence shows up in how you run your entire business. Like, do you check your bank balance every day? It's a very simple task, system, process, whatever you want to call it. It is a process that can help you feel more in control. If there isn't enough in the bank, you can plan to earn more. But you might beat yourself up for a little while first, but you have to move through that and you have to say, okay, there's not enough there. What can I do to bring more money into the bank? And if there is enough, you get to congratulate yourself on working so hard to earn it. It's very good for the mindset for sure. And what about your revenue? Do you have a daily revenue tracking sheet that shows you what's coming in for the month? I loved using this when I was a VA. It was kind of a funny thing, but it was a great mindset tool for me because a lot of my clients paid me on the first of the month. That's technically what we do, right? We get prepaid on the first of the month, at least they were supposed to. But the rest of the month, the days were left empty of deposits. So looking at this sheet with 30 days on it or whatever for every month, I would have all my payments coming in on the first, and then I would have all of these other days of the month that were blank. They didn't have any money on them. And my coach helped me see, again, this is mindset work, that there were so many opportunities to earn more money every month. And I didn't need to bring on another big client, but what were the things that I could do to grow my business, right? My growth strategy became, what could I do later in the month to get clients signing on in those days so that I had more income coming in on other days of the month other than just the first. Your mind becomes very open when you use tools and data like this to drive it. So it was really cool. And I just wanted to share that with you. But here is something that doesn't get said enough. Systems do not just make your business easier. They do affect your confidence. They make you more confident. I wholeheartedly believe this because I do it and I see it every day. When you know exactly what happens next in your client process, you show up calmer and in control. You're not flying by the seat of your pants. You are following the process that you put in place. When your marketing runs like clockwork, you stop doubting whether you're doing enough or whether this is working or whether that's working. You start to just follow the process and enjoy the results. And when your finances are structured, you start thinking like the CEO of your business, not just a freelancer trying to run and keep up with everything. I can tell you without a doubt that these things are true. I have lived them and I can help you live them too. Confidence creates capacity. When your time isn't eaten up by the chaos or the repetitive admin work that you're doing, you can take on more clients. You can raise your rates. You can build out new service offerings. You literally make space for growth whenever the chaos is quelled. And this is how successful VAs scale, not by working more hours or bringing in new clients, but by letting their systems help them do the work. I've worked with so many VAs to build up their confidence, to create their systems, and to grow their businesses. And it does happen differently for each of us. We work with your schedule, your expertise, your service offerings, your work pace, your rates, and we move through everything to the next level in a clear and concise way. Systems are the key to getting yourself organized, but it doesn't stop there. Systems help you grow. You have better time management. You have a better understanding of how to get more done or how to do things better. You earn more money. You have better clients. You have a better way for your clients to see you. A VA that relies on solid systems naturally looks professional and polished. And we have things under control, and we know why we do everything that we do. And all of that comes out in the communications that you have in your conversations with people, in your networking, in your marketing, in your execution of all of the things that you do in your business. So I want to give you an action step for this week. I want you to audit one area of your business, one of the 3 things that I talked about maybe. Look at your client management, your marketing, or your finances, and ask yourself, what am I recreating every week? How am I reinventing the wheel every week? Or where do I think I need to reinvent the wheel? And where could I create a repeatable process or put in a checklist or use an automation that would make things better? The key is to pick one small thing and just start with that. Maybe it's a welcome email template. Maybe it's a content tracker, or maybe it's a monthly finance review. You don't have to overhaul everything at once. In fact, I advise wholeheartedly against it. Your systems, once you put them in place, grow with you. And remember what I said, clarity creates confidence, and consistency is what will create the freedom that you need to grow your business. You deserve to run a business that feels smooth and predictable and scalable, because that's how you fully step into that role of CEO of your VA business. Let's circle back to today's quote. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Doesn't this make so much sense now? Your systems can make or break your business. So don't overthink it all and just get them in place one at a time. But then use them, follow them, and you will grow your VA business. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to figure out new ways to do things if there's already a good way in place. Stop running and identify where you can slow down and still get more done. I promise you, you can. Stop rushing through client tasks and saying yes to everything, and step back and actually check. Is there an opportunity here for growth? I guarantee you that when you take that step back, you're going to see where the right path is. And I can help you. It's the only reason I'm here at all, to help you become a ridiculously good virtual assistant. If this episode is bringing stuff up for you, please take a minute to share it with another VA who could use a little system sanity. Love to hear when you guys are sharing stuff. And if you're ready to get some help yourself, jump over to yourvamentor.com/links to connect with me, to pick up one of my VA resources, or to work with me. I would love to help you. And don't forget, your challenge this week is to audit one area of your business and find one process to automate or to document. Everything starts in baby steps. Promise. You'll be amazed at the confidence that comes from even having one small system in place that wasn't there before. That is all I've got for you this week. Thank you so much for being here. Next week, we continue our mindset series with a special episode on narrowing your focus and how it can increase your income. I hope you will join me. I know you will. Thank you so much for listening in. I'll see you next time.